Let's go! Let's go! I told you we wouldn't lose.
That full time?
Let's go! 1-0 in Colombia.
Nasty.
Oh, Caicedo.
That's probably
God, what a
that,
performance.
that's probably the second hardest team in South America too.
It was. They were in second place. Not anymore. Not
Not
anymore.
anymore.
We're gonna take that spot. We're gonna take that spot, baby. Let's go.
Did Kendrick Pies play?
No, he did not. He did not play. Wow.
Was he on the
Sorry about that,
bench?
guys. But welcome back. Another episode. Two Blues in a Pod. You know, I'm Guillermo.
I'm Pablo.
And we're switching it up today. I'm sorry. I'm just so hyped. I don't know what's happening. Oh, I'm just so happy. Clean sheet away at Colombia with 10 men since minute 35.
That's right.
Super Ender Valencia turning into prime Messi to score, take on the whole team and score the winner 1-0.
Easy.
We've got the best defense in the league or in the whole qualifiers. Best defense in the qualifiers. Brazil, who, Argentina, who, those are the only two teams we've lost to. We have a 3-point deduction because of Chile being stupid and whatnot. And guess what? We're second.
Second place.
We're second. Behind Argentina.
Wow. How far?
We're only Uruguay's tying right now, so they're actually second. But we're only 4 points away from Argentina because they're also tying their game. It's ongoing right now. But if not, if they lose, we're 3 points away. But
watch them both lose.
Oh, if they would both lose. Well, Uruguay's playing Brazil. If Brazil win, then they knock us down to third because they would have 20 points, 1 point more than us. But those 3 points deductions that we'd be 22 points, a point away from Argentina. We'd be tied on points with Argentina.
How does it work in terms of like what happens next? You have to be like top 6, top 4, top 8.
So yeah, it used to be top 4, and the 5th one goes to the playoff against I don't know. I think it's Oceania usually.
Okay.
But you know, with the new World Cup structure, 2026 World Cup, we're all
That's
going.
right.
We're going.
That's right. Yes, sir.
It's 6 teams from CONMEBOL from South America go through automatically, directly, and then the 7th team goes into the playoff. I guess also assuming against someone in Oceania, a playoff there.
I like that though, because you guys have South America is tough,
dude. I don't know how Ecuador's been a 4 recently.
Yeah,
since 2002, we've been a 4. The only one we missed out on was Russia.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah, that's the only one we missed out on, and it was
it was your coach, right? I remember you saying that.
I don't remember his name, but I'm sorry. I know a lot of our listeners probably hate the international break. A lot of people hate the international break, but I love the international break. I absolutely love it because I get to see Ecuador play. Like, I don't know if it's just a South American thing, because it seems like in England people hate the international break. The players also, Harry Kane touched on it twice, how the players are avoiding England. One of Cole Palmer being one of them. I mean, I understand Chelsea's someone who pays you, and you want your career's around Chelsea. It's not going to be around England. I get that, but there's just something for South Americans to wear your country shirt. It's so prideful.
Yeah,
like,
it is.
Me just talking about it fills me with pride. Like, I get so hyped. I get so emotional.
Even those friendlies, like you talking about the English players not wanting to pull out and stuff. It's because they're not important games. But for South American countries, it's like every game is
important. And I get it. Yeah, England has a Nations League, but still, like, even for Ecuador, like, you get a call up, you're going.
Oh yeah,
you're not gonna be like, oh, I'm sorry, sir, I'm not going. Even if you're injured, you're going. Yeah, and I know a lot of our Chelsea fans, a lot of our viewers are gonna be mad at the fact that Caicedo would 120% go, even if he's injured, would want to go and play for Ecuador to help his country. It's not just helping, or it's not just about winning or anything. It's about your country. It's all your people, and maybe it's because in South America a lot of players grow up poor, and so they kind of feel more of a connection with the country and with the people, and with all that they've witnessed and gone through. And it's like, I want to pay it back. Like, I made it. I want to show the world, like, this is who Ecuador is.
Yeah.
not what you see in the news. This is who Ecuador is. Let's make it big. Let's give some pride and joy
Mm-hmm.
to our fellow countrymen.
Yeah. Yep.
Especially
I
in tough
mean,
times.
yeah. I mean, if I could watch Puerto Rico and they would ball out all the time, like that's the best feeling. It feels better than watching Chelsea.
Yeah,
Just
and
because it's your
you get
country.
it. You
There's
get
something
it.
else. There's something else. And like I never had that like opportunity, but now that they, even if we play like yesterday, we played Haiti and lost, but just there's a different feeling that you get. It hurts more. You enjoy it more. You feel like you're a part of the team,
Yeah.
like literally, you know.
And I know a lot of viewers also would probably say, "Oh, well, it's because they're American. They didn't
Yeah,
grow up here in England. They didn't grow up watching the games. We grew up watching these
yeah,
games."
yeah.
Like, just because I don't like that narrative too. Just because we're across the pond doesn't mean that we don't care about Chelsea like you guys do,
Right, right,
or that we don't feel the
right,
connection or the love just because we can't go to every game.
right.
But
Yeah,
okay, you guys go to every game, and every game is at 3 p.m. for you guys, UK time.
yeah,
For us,
yeah,
on this Saturday against Leicester, which we'll talk about later, it's at 6:30 in the morning for us.
yeah. It's
6:30 in the
7:30
morning.
for me. Yep. Give me 1 sec. We can cut this. I just need to get Bella out, or she's gonna keep working.
Yeah. All right. But my dad just texted me. He said that we were gonna lose this game. I'm sorry, I'm still hyped about it. He said we were gonna lose this game, and I told him, I don't know if we'll win, but I know we're not gonna lose. Because this was a not lose game, must not lose game.
Right,
And he
right.
just texted me and he said, wow, you were right. And I want to FaceTime him real quick. I want to FaceTime him. Let me see what he says. Oh, I'm so excited. Te dije, papá. I told you. I told you. Y con un hombre menos. With 10 men. 1-0. I told you. Okay. I gotta go. I'm recording. I
How
was
lit
scared he
was
was
he?
gonna say a bad word or something.
Yeah, that's what
Because
I thought.
I mean,
Yeah.
all right.
What? How high was he? How high was he?
He said because he's busy right now. He's working, with the whole company and stuff, everything that he's doing.
Yeah.
Shout out to JMP Press. We'll put it in the description if you guys want anything. It's a little family business. Get all your merchandise, customizable, all that stuff. Little plug. But he's busy with all that, so he didn't get to watch the game. But
Yeah.
he knew we had a red, and he knew
Hmm.
we were winning 1-0, but he didn't know anything else. He's like, "We won,
Right. That's nasty. That's nasty.
man." But yeah, I mean, back to what we were talking about. People saying that we don't feel it like they feel it. We don't love Chelsea like they love it. Chelsea, we're getting up earlier than you. We make so many sacrifices to watch Chelsea than you.
And I mean, and also it's like our culture here in the US is like American football, basketball, baseball. So for us to not embed ourselves into that culture and kind of toss that to the side and say football is the way, football is our culture, that says a lot too. Like you don't catch us at American football games, right? You
No,
catch us at
exactly,
home or at a restaurant watching a soccer game, football game at 10 a.m., 11 a.m.,
exactly.
something
You
that
couldn't have said it
drops.
better. You couldn't have said it better because
Yeah.
we're missing out on that. What's the word I'm looking for? That societal
Mm,
gathering between friends and
right.
and family and coworkers, and
Yeah.
it's an opportunity to network and whatnot, and we
Yeah.
don't get to do all that because what do
Mm-mm.
we care about? We care about Chelsea,
Yep.
and so we have to
Yep.
be at home, like you said, or at a restaurant if they can find the game.
Yeah.
So
Whereas like the English and Europeans gather to go watch soccer, right? Or football. Americans here gather to watch American football. Like
mhm.
even high school games, like they'll miss important NFL games or whatever just to watch like high school football, American football
Yeah,
games. So like their culture is very strong on that. So
yeah. So there's a
that
big
definitely.
difference, and
Mhm.
I think that's why we just I get a little annoyed when people say that.
Yeah, I did too.
We're not true Chelsea fans. Like that's a ridiculous narrative.
It's like if you can't come to or if you're not here supporting the team, what makes you a fan or whatever. It's like, dude,
Yeah. You think we
we're
don't
here
want to
supporting. Yeah,
play?
like Yeah, it's
I talk about it with my wife all the time. Shout out Marilla. And I talk about it with you too. And anytime I bring up going to see Chelsea for the first time at Stamford Bridge, I get so much like, I literally kid you not have to hold back tears. Just thinking
right.
about it, like, when I actually stop and think about myself being at Stamford Bridge,
Yeah.
chanting and cheering on the team and seeing all the players and seeing the pitch and getting to experience that atmosphere, oof. Like, right now, I'm getting
getting to be a part of the game.
exactly, you make a difference in the
Oh my
game.
god, I would so make a difference. I don't care. I would so make a
Like,
difference.
we went to the fan festival in Nashville, and that was just like a little tiny sneak peek trailer of what it would feel like to be at a stadium in England watching a Premier League game.
To be with like fellow Chelsea
E
fans.
exactly, and tell the viewers how much chanting did I do? When was I quiet?
Literally, pretty much never until your voice was gone.
Mhm.
I remember in the beginning, like you were rallying them up. You were the one starting things, and like it was a wave. It was unfortunate that the game was trash.
Yeah, we
We
ended
were
up
playing like
1-1
a
last minute, but
yeah, and playing like a bad team too, but
yeah, I don't remember who it was, but
just energy the whole
yeah,
time.
it
Energy.
just chanting the whole time. What did Rebecca Lowe
You
say?
were smiling like a kid, you know.
Yeah, what did
Oh yeah,
Rebecca Lowe say? She said that this is the loudest group of fans that she's ever heard.
I love it.
I'm not talking about everyone in
I
Nashville.
forgot
She
about
was
that.
talking about the Chelsea fans.
Wow.
Her and Tim Howard said, "This is the loudest group of fans." These Chelsea fans showed up. Arsenal fans were telling us that too. They were like, I gotta respect it." And they're like,
Hmm.
"Especially you are not staying quiet." And I'm telling you, that's how I would
Yeah.
be at the stadium. I would not stay quiet for
No.
1 second. I don't care
No.
if we're losing 7-0. I wouldn't be
Yeah.
quiet. I'd be
Mhm.
cheering them on.
Mhm.
I'd be like, y I don't understand. Like, there's the one thing I don't like about Premier League teams is, and I think it's a rule in the Premier League, it's just the fan culture is a little bit lower than anywhere else in the world. Like, even if you look
Right.
at MLS, like, remember Atlanta games that we've gone to? Like,
Yeah.
how hype was
Yeah.
the pregame
That
with the flares,
mhm.
the drums, and
Yep.
the singing and the, megaphones, and then even in the
Mhm.
stadium, you get to do all that. You get the flags, you get the balls, you get little balloon balls or beach balls, you get the flares, you get the fire,
Drums.
the smoke, the drums, the megaphones, all the cheering and chanting and unified chants and everything, like, it just riles you up, and that's gonna help the players. Like,
Oh
it's
my
just
god,
only gonna
yes.
help, and
Yeah.
for an MLS team to have that type of culture and that type of committed fans and, being that 12th man, but then you don't really see that in the Premier League, it's a little disappointing, and I just
It's a little
wish
weird.
we could do that because imagine Stamford Bridge with blue flares and drums and megaphones.
I mean, you see like Dortmund and stuff, like, just have, like,
Yeah,
insane amount of committed fans, you know?
and we're probably gonna get hate, or at least me, I'm gonna get hate for saying this, but with the amount of American owners coming into, the Premier League, I'm hoping that the one thing that we adapt from American sports culture
Sports. Mhm.
is the 12th man, the fan, the noise, the making it more of a experience for the fans also, and making it feel like the fans actually have a part. And I'm
Yeah.
not saying Sanford Bridge doesn't have a great atmosphere because they do. The gate clapping when we score,
Yeah,
all
yeah,
that
yeah.
amazing little sound. Like, I wish I had something that could recreate it.
Love I
Oh,
love it.
like, I get chills every
Mhm.
time we score,
Yeah.
and you just hear like, like,
Yeah.
oh, like, don't get me wrong, we have atmosphere too, but it's just
Right.
we could take it up a whole nother
We could
level.
take it to a whole nother level. We could be like an Anfield, right? Like, we could be, like a Dortmund, right?
Mhm.
We could be, like a Barcelona
And
or
Todd
even
Bowley
a
said that
Madrid.
he went to remember the one of the first Champions League games he went to, or the first one when he was a Chelsea owner, was against, Borussia Dortmund at Dortmund when we won 2-0
Right.
with
Right.
Sterling scoring
Potter.
that goal. Yeah,
Yeah.
Potter, and
Yeah.
sending us through, and he fell in love with the freestanding wall is what they call it, I believe. And he
Oh,
mentioned
okay.
how he wants to recreate that at Stamford Bridge. If we're able to expand Stamford Bridge and, make it bigger,
That's
he said
right.
he wants to recreate that.
Yeah.
And why not? Like, it's just
Right.
having also the fact of people being sitting down the whole game,
No. I don't think that makes sense.
No, like
You can't honestly, like, even for me, like, even if everybody's seated, I'm probably gonna get up
yeah,
because, like,
and
I
people are
just
gonna
have
get
too
mad at you,
much
but you have to.
I have too much energy, dude, like, I'm sorry.
Exactly. Like, I'm in the
Yeah.
game. I'm not just here to, "Oh, wow." No, like, I'm in it.
Oh, wow, good job.
Mhm. No,
No.
no. Like, I gotta be in it, and maybe this might come off a little naive because we haven't been there, so people might say, "Well." So, yeah, I mean, it's gonna come off a little naive, I'm sure, and I know we haven't been there, but it's just from the outside looking in, I can see, or we can see an opportunity to make this better. I just wish we could.
Yeah,
I don't know
yeah.
if it's like a Premier League thing or what, but
I mean, especially, like, against little teams, you see it, right? Like, you're like, "Man, if our stadium was just rocking." I was recording an episode with one of my friends. He's a Liverpool fan about last 2 weeks ago, and it was the game where they went down at home. I think it was to Wolves or something in Liverpool. And he told me I was just waiting for one thing, and it's for the team to rile up a player, to hit somebody, make a hard tackle, whatever it was. Because as soon as that happens, Anfield just comes and backs you.
they erupt.
You can feel it, and you can feel it, right? The players can feel it. When you're going with 70,000 people on your back and you're going against one person in front of you, you probably feel like you can do anything.
Your knees
You know
would
what
get
I'm saying?
weak, you know?
Yeah. You probably feel like you can do any 70, 90,000 people, 70 or 90,000 people screaming, backing you up, saying, go, go, go.
It's
There's so much strength and power into that.
yeah, and if you look at it from the other side, as you as the opposing team, you're the visiting team, you're like, "I'm
What
terrified." Like,
Yeah, what is happening?
my knees are getting weak, my
Yeah.
arms are getting sweaty, I'm gonna
Yeah.
have, mom spaghetti.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna be terrified the whole time
Yeah, yeah,
because
and don't mess up, right? Like,
yeah,
don't mess up.
yeah, because 'cause they're gonna be
If you
on you,
mess
and
up,
that's just
yeah.
gonna affect you mentally. The whole time you're gonna be second guessing everything you do, but,
We can
it's
bring
just
that
a part
back.
of it. Uh
Chelsea and Stamford Bridge can do that.
exactly,
We
yeah, we definitely can.
are committed to making that happen. Yeah.
But, yeah, we definitely can do that at Stamford Bridge, but I think it's time. We've gone on enough with our little rant, little ramble. We need to talk about some of the results over the international break, or not really results, but just touch on some of our Chelsea players, some of our Blues out there on
Mhm.
international break. Um, I know it's been a busy week for both of us on our personal lives, but
Yeah,
I did try and catch a couple games, or at least see some highlights, and be in the know of
right.
how our Blues are doing. So I'm not
Mhm.
sure if you've been keeping up, but I can tell you, if not, that Felix,
Mhm.
Neto, and Viega,
Nice.
our little Portuguese connections, were really good this weekend, or over the international break. Felix scored this last game against Croatia, um, and Neto scored before that, the game before that against Poland, um, and then Viega started both games and only conceded one goal in both games. So I mean, he started as a I think he started in the center back role both games, but the last game against Croatia, he started in a back three, in the sweeper role in the middle of the back three, which is
Nice.
interesting. Yeah, which we know. I mean, he's a center back, he's a left back hybrid, and can play in midfield as a center mid. So it's interesting to see that we also have an option for if we need to do a back three, we can put him there
Right.
too, and he'll do a job. He kind of reminds me of a little of a Dollar General Reece James, or
That's a really good
yeah,
comparison.
or
Yeah.
like, I don't know in England, I have
I
no
would I
idea
would
what England would
almost
call him.
say I would almost say, like, a hybrid of Reese and Cuckoo.
I can see that, yeah.
Because he's got that strength in him, and, like, honestly, like, just, like, you're not gonna do it against me type of attitude that Reece
Yeah.
James has, but he has that, like, crazy play in him like Cuckoo.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
He's way more balanced with it, and is smart about it and stuff like that, which is probably why he can play center back, CDM, or just CM in general, and then left back.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's kind of how I imagine him, and I'm honestly really glad because I had no idea what to expect of this guy. I mean, I know he was clowned on Twitter for a while before he actually played for us, or the first time he came on for us against City, maybe.
Yeah.
Literally Twitter clown, and they were like, "Who's this guy? Like, who's this Chelsea player now?" But no, he's been great, man. And honestly, I really like his attitude and everything. He feels like a player that you never really have to worry about. You can just be sure that he's going to come in whenever he's needed and perform. Which,
I agree.
Honestly, a lot of other players in our team can learn off of.
Yeah, I think he's consistently given us a 6.5 or 7 performance, and that's if you can get that from a backup player, that's
Yeah,
amazing. That's all you
and
need. That's all you want.
in 2 positions, right? Left back and CM.
Right, and
That's not easy.
yeah, no, I think he's been great, like you said. We'll touch on him a little bit more, talking about CM in the next pod of our preview for Leicester City.
Right.
But for now, let's talk about the international break.
Right.
Felix and Neto both scored.
Yeah.
Both scored. Neto's been in the starting XI recently. He's been starting for us, and he's been great. I mean, he scored now I already forgot who we played. Arsenal. He scored against Arsenal.
Yeah.
Banger. Banger. Oh, you
I
could really hear the gate
I
clapping or gate smacking there. Oh, that was so nice.
That was a really good goal. I
A
enjoyed
really
that.
good goal. Yes, I did too. And then you got Felix scoring.
Right.
I'm sorry. You got Felix scoring too, but he hasn't been able to make it into the starting 11.
Right.
So, he's been good for Portugal. He's been good in the Conference League. Does he warrant a start?
Right.
When is he going to be making it into the starting 11 for the main team for our A team?
Right.
And it's good questions to ask Madueke.
Right. Well, this game, honestly, I don't know. I think in general, Joao Felix needs to be playing. Joao Felix is too talented. He has too much quality. He's almost like a FIFA player that you can't leave out of your when you're playing and using him. And I don't understand why there must be an attitude and a mentality that Maresca is seeing that obviously us Chelsea fans don't get to see behind the doors. I know there's obviously been so much talk about him and in terms of that aspect of his game. I hope he turns it around, man, because I think he's a top player. I mean, when he first came in, I remember watching him first live in New Jersey. I was with you actually. Remember we were in New Jersey and he scored a couple of goals in Real Madrid and they ended up winning that game like 4-0. It was like high scoring and it was because of him. And he was like 18 years old.
Yeah.
Right after that,
with
literally
Atletico.
Yeah. Right after that, he was literally marked like 75, 80 plus mil. And just seen as this like gem of a soccer player. He never really took off from that, right? Had some decent seasons with Atletico. Won the league with Atletico, I believe, unless that was the year that he went on loan to Barcelona.
I forgot he went on loan to Barcelona.
Yeah, and he really did well for them for the first half of the season. There just seems to be, I don't think his work ethic must not be there, right? Like his mentality must not be there in terms of like high caliber, consistent every single day, every single week.
Right.
I think that's maybe what's holding him back. But I
don't know if
can't
you
see
remember, but he was loaned out to us
right
under Potter, and he was, in my opinion, he was probably our best or second best player that season.
Yeah,
and
he was.
If it wasn't for the crossbar being in the way 5 or 6 different times, he would have had 5 or 6 more goals. And then the passes that he would give, if we had better players that season or players that actually wanted to play and try, they would have been amazing assists. So he could have had amazing goal contributions. So we know the talent's there. It's just there's something just we're not able to get it out of him. Whether it was us, Barcelona, Atletico Madrid, we can't get that amazing player that was at Benfica before he went over.
Right. Exactly.
And
it's tricky, man.
I don't know.
He's a young young guy.
Yeah, what is he,
And
24 still?
he's had so much pressure for the past 6-7 years of his life, and he's
True.
like he showed up for like half of each season. It feels like every season he shows up for at least half of it and does really, really well. And it seems like that drop off was just too bad, too low, for him to kind of have that hype again, that momentum going into another season. Hence why he keeps changing clubs and stuff. But I don't know, if I'm Maresca, that's probably one of my main priorities, to make sure that I get the best out of Joao Felix and get him playing for my club. Because, I mean, realistically, you replace Madueke, people say he's not a winger or whatever. You replace Madueke for Joao Felix, I think our lineup literally becomes 10 times stronger.
And he's got that little X factor. He's got that.
He does. He has that huge X factor. That's like all he
has. He's got.
Yeah.
He's just an X factor, and that's about it. And
he's a flair. He's a pretty boy flair.
The flair.
Portuguese. Like I honestly, like, the first time I saw him, I fell in love with him. Like, in terms of his game, I loved his attitude. And just in general, like, I liked how he played. He's one that, if you get him, like, let's say you make him or whatever, he's gonna make you back. Like, he's looking to do that back to you. And I really like that. So I don't know, man. Knowing that he scored over the international break, is connecting with Neto and Viega. I don't know. Seems like a good opportunity, maybe.
He plays with the best player of all time, Cristiano Ronaldo, scoring the bicycle kick.
He broke a record as well, Ronaldo.
When doesn't he break a record? He sounds like a broken record every time he breaks a record. Like,
they said, I kept seeing posts like, new international break, new record broken. Guess who?
Literally
Ronaldo.
Every time. It's just Ronaldo is just amazing. But if only he came to Chelsea. He was close.
Stop.
He was close. If only he did. But that's the Portuguese side of things. Now, if we go over to the other side of the Iberian Peninsula, over to Spain, we've got Cucurella. He started against Denmark. They won 2-1, but he didn't feature in their next game, which was today or yesterday. I can't remember exactly. By the time we were recording this, it was either today or yesterday. So he didn't feature. They preferred Grimaldo over him at left back, which I know a lot of Spanish players, fans were calling out for Grimaldo to start for the Euros, and instead Cucurella started, and look how great he did.
Yeah,
which I know Grimaldo had an amazing season over with Bayern Leverkusen, undefeated and whatnot. But which it was surprising, because Cucurella wasn't at his best form either. Like, he was coming up and everything, but for the manager to trust him, there was something he saw tactically, which, just like Maresca, there's something he sees tactically with Cucurella that another player that potentially could be better or is better on paper can't deliver, like Chilwell.
Right.
I think it's wrong, but for some reason, he doesn't think Chilwell can do a good job for this team.
Right.
But he thinks Cucurella does. And it's not just him, the Spanish coach too. So clearly we have a special player.
Yeah. I was gonna say, I think what Cucurella brings in that position also is like adaptability. He's somebody that if he gets rinsed, like, let's say, quickly into the game, you're not gonna rinse him again. Just because he knows how to adapt to how you're playing and how you're beating him. And I think that's something he does very well. He's also very smart tactically. So he knows that if he can't be getting up too high, he can't be getting up too high. He's just not going to. So I think he's very flexible in terms of, as a player, as a left back, and you can trust him, right? Whereas Chilwell, I don't see Chilwell as a tactical player at all. I see him more as a passion merchant a little bit, and somebody who would thrive off space.
Right.
I don't think pressure and limited tight spaces would benefit Chilwell. So yeah, I think maybe that's why, and I can really see why Maresca maybe isn't trusting him at all. And maybe, who knows, right? Like, maybe Chilwell did not react well to that. You never know. But I'm just glad Cucurella has gotten the praise that he deserves, and the respect he deserves.
His little redemption arc, I love it.
Yeah. Grimaldo's a top player. Like,
He's
for him
amazing.
to keep Grimaldo out of that team was actually pretty insane, and people were ridiculing it. for the first game or two to the Spain coach, right? Like that Grimaldo should be playing. But right away, Cucurella showed up.
Yeah, he proved it. I mean, in the final, assisted the game winner.
Yeah.
Right after
I
Cole
did.
Palmer scored the tying goal.
Mm-hmm.
After coming on the bench, which is a whole
He's
nother
that
story. I
fire.
don't know why he didn't start, but
Yeah, he has that fire in him, right? Like when he's somebody that when things are going wrong, you can maybe look to Cucurella to give us a moment of hope, or just like fire, right? Like energy. And
imagine
I think
saying
that's how
that.
Joao didn't have that either.
Imagine saying that a year ago, or
Right,
a year and a half ago.
right. Dude, I'm telling you, there was phases where I absolutely hated Cucurella for just how bad he was playing.
Oh, we've
But
talked about it.
but I always loved Cucurella.
Yeah,
Like I remember the beginning when he first came, I loved him. I loved him right away. As soon as he came, he was crazy. He wanted to impose himself. I absolutely loved it. I thought that if I was any sort of type of player, I would be a Cucurella type of player.
yeah.
Just like in your face, I'm not gonna leave you alone. I don't care
No,
how
that
I
is
look.
who you are
I'm
as a
gonna
player.
you. Yeah,
God, like,
and it's like,
you're so annoying to play against because you're always like you're
yeah,
sticky. You're
yeah.
sticky. You're a
You might
little. I
you
don't even
might
know. Like
get
you're
me.
like honey. You're like honey. You're like, oh, I got it all over me now, and you can't get rid of it, and you're stuck with that the whole game. Like that's who you are. You're
I like that because you're not prone to win every challenge. And so when you lose, how do you react? How do
Mhm.
you respond to that? And I think that's probably the best of my game. I've gone against a lot of players that are huge and like they just kind of stiff arm me, honestly. And I'll swipe their arm away and I let them know I'm still here, I'm still here, I'm still here. You're gonna have to get rid of the ball or get past me, right? Because there's nothing else you can't just hold the ball. I'm not gonna let you do that. So Cucurella has that.
Yeah.
You mentioned it last episode or the episode before that he has kind of that like dark arts in him.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's a
Uh,
master of dark arts. He's got the
yeah,
little,
he gets players mad. You remember that Spurs player that pulled his hair? Romero, was it? Or Pedro Porro? I don't know. It was one
it
of
was
them.
Romero. That's when everything went wrong. Everything went wrong. We didn't get a red. Harry Kane scored off of that corner, tied the
Oh,
game. Pressure was on Thomas Tuchel. I'm telling you, because of that hair pull, that changed history. That changed history. Like Harambe changed history.
that was such BS.
Cucurella's hair being pulled changed history.
That's such
100%.
BS,
But
dude.
yeah, no,
How did he not get a red for that?
it's dumb. But he definitely has that dark arts. He's a disaster master.
Uh-huh.
He's there to cause disaster, but he's the
Hmm.
master of dark arts. Like
Yeah,
he's just
exactly.
he's great. He's got the best of both worlds. He's a little bit South American-y.
Yeah.
Like he
Talking about South America,
ooh
I did notice. So I didn't catch a lot of games this international break. Honestly, I was just ready for it to be over. But I did notice Enzo, right? Because he did come on in the Conference League game, played the first 45 minutes, and then
3 assists
assisted
in
3
like
goals,
2 minutes.
29 minutes or 21 minutes or something was 3 assists, and then he was subbed off right into the second half. And then he got some minutes against Arsenal, I believe. Right?
Yes, yes. He's the one who assisted Neto. He came on and within literally 2
There you
minutes
go.
he
That's right.
assisted Neto.
That's right. So he does that, right? Which it was he only had 10, 15 minutes to play. And then he comes on for Argentina, kind of same thing, 10, 15 minutes to play, and he assists in less than 5 minutes. And this was not a sideways pass. This was a chip over the defense, baited them, saw the run, gave it to the runner, to his feet, finishes.
And
Beautiful.
you know how many times the past 2 or 3 games we've had Nicholas Jackson or Madueke or
Even Cole
Neto
Palmer.
or even Cole Palmer making
Yep.
those runs, and we haven't had the Enzo Fernandez being there to make that
Yep.
type of pass.
Mhm.
So, it's interesting you mentioned it because like I said, we haven't had a player make
Mhm.
that pass recently,
Yeah, we don't really
in the
have.
Premier League.
Well, the thing is, our chance creator is Palmer, and then when he gets nullified, who's your chance creator?
Caicedo, we've been
That's
relying him to be a chance
yeah,
creation.
and you don't want Caicedo on the forefront of
No,
that, you know.
no.
So you want Caicedo to be worrying about defense and transitions and all this stuff, and then let Enzo do that, you know.
Mhm.
So I'm hoping when that's been noticed. I know Maresca rates him. I know he does.
He definitely
So I'm not
does.
worried about that. I'm not worried about that. People do like to talk on Enzo. I think comes with the price tag. I think he's a top player. Um, 6
I mean,
assists in 70 minutes, 5 assists in 70 minutes. Come on, man. Like,
if
you don't do
Enzo
that if
has
you're
no
not.
fans, then you're dead. Because you've been his number one supporter recently, and
He's my dude, man.
you've been trying to make me see the light, and I think slowly but
Ever
surely I'm starting to see it. I'm starting to see it.
I remember watching him a little bit in the World Cup, and I heard his name a
Ah,
lot, but I didn't really, like, tune into him, right? I was really focused on just watching Argentina, and, I mean, you would see him in Argentina, right? But, like, I wasn't focused on him, and then when he came
right,
to
right.
Chelsea, when we made the big buy, I was really excited because it was like, "Wow, we got him." It was kinda
Yeah,
like
yeah.
the Werner and Havertz deal. It was like,
Yeah.
"Wow, everybody wanted him, but we got him." So it was
Yeah,
kind of
yeah,
that.
yeah.
I was really excited, and I believe, like, the first game, he was great. He was absolutely great. He's just active. He's trying to make something happen all the time. He wants to score. He wants to attack. He wants to feel the emotion of the game. He wants you to feel it. He doesn't care. He pushes Havertz down. He pushes Mason Mount down.
Oh,
Like,
pushes Mason Mount. Oh,
it's all the
that was
things
a
you want to
beauty.
see. Yeah, and I think I don't I don't like how Chelsea fans have quickly been able to switch up on him.
That's true.
I think he deserves a lot more, man, and I like that he even answers to that. Scores a freaking banger of a free kick, pulls his shirt up, right?
Oh, against Aston Villa. I remember
Dude,
that.
he's got moments, like, he's made them, and so I think he's that type of player that can change the game at any given time,
Now can we
with
get that
with a good chance.
type of player consistently though? I think
Right.
that's what Maresca needs to work on.
Right.
And to be fair, like you mentioned before, he had a hernia last season. He's been
Mhm.
injured, family
Exactly.
problems. He just left his wife,
Yeah.
wife and kids
He's
to become a
he's balling
single.
after
Yeah, he wants to be a little single bachelor now.
yeah,
And,
that's yeah,
you
no
know,
comment on that.
yeah, I
Mhm.
know, but things are there's more to him than just what we see on the pitch. There's a lot of
Right.
backstory. And so maybe we do need to give him a benefit of the doubt. And I think you've convinced me. I mean, screw it. Enzo Caicedo double pivot against Leicester. Let's do it.
Let's
Let's
do
do
it,
it.
dude.
Why not?
Well,
Let's do it. I believe in it.
yeah,
South American power. Let's go. But
let's go, man.
on that, Caicedo played 90 plus minutes today with 10 men
Uh,
down. So he really, really put the team on his back. As I've
right.
always said, he's the main man in Ecuador. He goes up and down and defends and comes
Starts
down in between
attacks.
the center backs and then plays a right back at times and then comes up into center mid and as a center attacking mid. A lot of times he's the one pressing all the way up in front of the striker
Wow.
and trying to create everything. He's the one taking corners or the short corners. And, I'm telling you, he is literally everywhere all the time, everywhere, everything all at once. That's
And
who Caicedo is.
him and Enzo, played in the same league, right? They played in the
No, no, no. In the same, it was the tournament you're talking about. You're talking about the Copa Libertadores. It was
that's right.
Independiente del Valle. Shout out.
Okay. Yeah,
When Caicedo was there, I think it was the U21 tournament, and it was against River Plate when Enzo Fernandez was at River Plate,
right.
and you know who won?
Caicedo. Caicedo. Caicedo seems to have the discipline and just the humbleness and the right things, the right ingredients that it takes to be a successful long-term
Yeah,
athlete.
and I think
Um,
him and Enzo really, really complement each other now that you're
yeah,
mentioning. Like, honestly, you're convincing me, and it's true. But the problem is, he played 90 plus minutes today. He didn't play the first game. To be fair, he was suspended for yellow card accumulation, so he didn't get to play the first game for Ecuador against Bolivia.
I
Thrashed
wish
them
it was the other way
4-0.
around.
And I wish it
I
was the
wish it
other.
was the
Well, no,
other.
no, no. Actually, no, I don't. I don't
Right, right.
because
Because you,
we needed him for this
yeah,
game. Like against
yeah,
Bolivia, we're gonna beat them anytime at home. Don't even care.
right, right.
But Colombia away, we needed him. So as an
Yeah,
Ecuadorian fan, I'm glad. But as a Chelsea
yeah,
fan, yes, it would have been nice if you got that rest. But now
yeah.
Enzo, it's currently been in almost 90. He's gonna play the full 90. I'm sure they've made no, they've only made 3 subs right now. Argentina against Peru. They're winning 1-0, but he's been main man. He's highest rated right now midfielder in the team. He's the highest
Is it
he's the highest rated non-goal contributing player in the team right now. Tied with Lautaro Martinez, which is the goal scorer of the game. The
right?
only player that's rated higher right now is Messi. So,
That's because he's Messi.
yeah. So, I mean, it says that he's got the most passes completed, 123 in the match. So
Where are they
he's
playing?
being that metronome. He's being that Jorginho. role. He's playing straight up in the middle with McAllister and DePaul next to him. So DePaul is like a little Caicedo. I hate DePaul, but if he played for us, I'd love him because he's got a little bit of that Caicedo where he just wants to bully everyone and take the ball.
That's what we don't have, man. We don't have a McAllister, dude. So that's where it becomes really hard with Enzo because I don't think him and Caicedo are enough on double pivot.
We need a 3.
Yeah, I think
and we need that LFC. We need that Lavia Fernandez Caicedo.
Yeah, and you need one of those two to really up their game, which is already, I think, asking a lot. And I think it was already asked of Enzo, and maybe thought that Enzo could. Now you see the backlash, and maybe he can't. So I agree. They complement each other. They would play beautiful together, but you need to have more defensive cover because if you're asking Enzo for Jackson, for Neto, for Madueke, then he's going to naturally go up. And one of his weakest things is transition to defense.
Yes.
If Caicedo's even a little bit higher, we're screwed. We're out back with only 4 defenders.
True. Maybe even 3 because Cucurella is probably going to be pushing up, or even Reece James is going to be pushing up. So
right, exactly. So it's really tough, honestly, in terms of Maresca's play style to find a good place for him.
Yeah.
Hopefully he can do that. He's had 2 weeks to think about it.
And speaking about our midfield, Lavia's out again.
Lavia is out. Yeah.
International break, man. He got a hamstring injury with Belgium. I don't know. Was it in training? I think is what it was.
I can't remember.
I think that's what the coach said. So he's out. We don't know for how long or what it is, but I'm saying we're probably not going to see him until the next year.
So bad, dude.
Yeah, it
sucks. If he can't maintain, I'm sorry, he needs to go.
He needs to go
because I'm tired of all these players, man. Like they just seem to.
It's not their fault, but
I know it's not their fault, but I don't know. There's something about it because
we got a team to run.
There is so this is real, right? Like people say knowing how to fall. People say, "Oh no,
that's
like whatever," but that's real, right?
It's real.
You need to know how to roll with your falls. You need to know how to go with it rather than get
against
tight
it. Because you'll get tight, and that's when your knee will lock up or ankle.
Yeah, that's when things twist. That's when things lock and all that stuff.
Exactly.
So, I don't know. Like I saw it a lot in Reece James. Like it seemed like any sort of, and I can see it. If Reece James extends his legs, he's getting injured. If he extends his legs, he literally gets injured.
If he takes a bad touch and then the opposing player tries to take it away from him and they come at the same time, he's injured.
He's injured, yeah. And so it's like, I'm sorry, but to me, as a coach, I don't want to see that. And that to me, honestly, like I see soft when that happens. Just because you need
soft
to be
and a liability.
Yeah, you need to be able to ride challenges. You need to be able to get hurt and get back up, hurt and play. That's normal, right? Like that's natural in all sports. That's why sports are hard.
Exactly.
So if you can't do that for us, Lavia, then I'm sorry, but I don't see what's the point in keeping him. And honestly, I mean, I was that way about Reece James too until this season. I said if he can't get his ish together this season, he can't stay fit for at least 3, 4, 5, 6 months. What's the point of having Reece James?
Yeah.
There's no point in having a really good player that you want to use, but you can't.
Yeah, you can only play him for 4 games out of the year.
Yeah, best ability is availability, right? Like, how many times did I hear that Luke Shaw was one of the best left backs in the league, but he's not available. It's just not there.
Yeah, and we can make the same argument like you're saying with Reece James. How many times would we say he's the best right back in the league versus Trent? But who's available?
And when he was playing, he was. And when he was playing, he was. As soon as he stopped playing, he wasn't.
Exactly. And what sucks is now that we're on topic of injuries, that's not the only injury we have during this international break. Fofana is having knee issues, you were saying?
That's right. Yep. He was having knee issues, yeah. And he came back to training like early, like he left France. So that's kind of worrying.
Yeah. So he could be out.
Yeah, more than likely he's out. Yeah. It says I looked on FOTMob and kind of like the, Twitter and stuff, and it says knee injury or knee issue. It says pain in knee.
Yeah.
Which you can see it in games.
No, yeah, I mean he's had the bandage also and the knee brace and all that. Like we've seen it, and he's still nursing it, but
right.
Hopefully he's okay because I think we need a good center back pairing.
He's great, dude. He's great.
Yeah, but more on that next episode.
Yeah, more on that next because actually Vardy won't be playing. So.
Oh.
Yeah. So.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
I'm excited now. But then also Sancho, remember he was ill, didn't play against Arsenal because of that. He did come back to training a couple days ago. That's what the Chelsea website said, and they had videos or pictures of videos of him. So he's back in training. Nice. Hopefully he can feature against Leicester City. I think we've been missing him a lot.
Yeah, we have.
So, it's not we've lost a couple players, but we're getting a couple players back. Right. So it's not doom and gloom. But I think that kind of rounds up the whole international break. One person we didn't mention, which is Madueke getting an assist. Apparently he was I saw a stat and I wish I could have saved it so I could have mentioned it in the pod. But he created the most chances, had the most duels won, assisted, and all this out of anyone in England team combined. So he was apparently really good. And people are saying weaker opposition, you can only be who you're playing against. If we're gonna praise Enzo for 3 assists in 20 minutes, then we can praise Madueke for balling out.
Yeah, this is true.
But is he gonna start? That's again, we'll talk about it next episode. So stay tuned. But I think that rounds it up. That's international break. To recap, Ecuador's the best. We're going to the World Cup. And Caicedo's the GOAT. He's N'Golo Kante who? He's N'Golo Kante 2.0. He's better. Well, maybe. I don't know. But yeah, international break for you. You say thankfully over. For me, I say unfortunately it's over because I just want to see more of Ecuador. I love it. But what I do love is one thing is over, but now Chelsea's back.
That's right, and we're not gonna have another break until March.
That's right.
We're just going crazy for it. There's so many videos of like managers running like crazy like March. I love it, dude. The Klopp one, the Klopp one.
Yep.
And the Mourinho, I love it.
I saw the Mourinho one. I saw that. I saw the Pochettino falling to his knees when they made it through to the final when Lucas Moura scored a hat-trick in the third goal. I saw that. Like,
wow. So
memes,
stupid,
man. If you guys got any memes, please send it our way. Send it to TikTok, Instagram, wherever. Because man, that's all I love. I love memes. But next episode, Leicester City preview. Big game. Big game. I know Leicester City hasn't been doing that well. But big game. We're away. After international break. Usually
early
that's a banana peel. Early kickoff.
Early kickoff.
So usually banana peels for us.
Yep.
But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Stay tuned. And thank you for joining us. I'm Pablo.
I'm Guillermo.
I'm Chelsea till I die.
Chelsea till I die.
See you guys.